Everybody, welcome to the very first ever CUPPA networking event, virtual event. I'm Jamie Holland, Assistant Dean for Undergraduate Affairs at the College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs. This is kind of our first stab at getting all of the groups together in one space and with campus and some faculty and staff to just talk about what everybody is doing in the college for student organizations and to just kind of get to know each other. So we have a few people that are going to say a few words at the beginning, and then we will have some quick presentations by each of the student groups, and we'll see where the conversation goes from there. So I'm going to pass the mic to Mike Pagano, and I'm going to mute myself. Hi.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Mike Pagano. I'm the Dean of the College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs. And in normal days, we would be meeting in a room, and I would ask you to go around and introduce yourself and tell me where you went to high school or where you're coming from and what brought you to CUPPA. But I'm going to do something different instead this time. Just remind that this is the college, our tagline, and I think what attracted you here is our tagline is promoting just, resilient, and livable communities. And anybody I think who reads that understands that that means that you are the students who care about doing good and doing it well. And the doing good part is what brought you here. Doing it well is what we hope you're going to understand and receive as you take your courses and understand what it is that you can do and how you can do it effectively and actively throughout the rest of your lives and your careers. One of the best things about this is that you will have an opportunity to meet the student groups, and the student groups are those who are committed to not only engaging you with the academic department or getting to know each other, but also involved in the community and doing the good part. And so I'm delighted to see that there are so many student groups that are here represented, and you'll be able to meet the leadership of those communities, actually hear what they have to say. I typically the college is the college, when we are in a building, the college is a generally open place. The faculty and staff tend to have their doors open. I have an open door policy. If students and faculty and staff have an issue, a problem, or just want to say hello, the door is almost always open, and I'm always happy to greet and say hello, find out who you are, and listen to your concerns or your interests. I don't have that opportunity now, unless you want to come over to my place, but I don't know where you live and you don't know where I live. So what I'm going to do instead is open the chat. So you can send me a question or just to say hello for the rest of the hour that we're together through chat. I'm going to turn my video off, and we'll be monitoring any conversations that you would like to have, or just to say hello, or say that you would like to set up a time to meet with me and talk. So we can do that as well. One of the other things that I want you to think about is, as you are coming into the CUPPA community and into academia in general, you probably have a lot of other friends that are looking around for institutions of higher education to further their own academic career and their professional career. And I suspect that many of them were also quite active in the community, whether it was with the Black Lives Matter, or whether they became very active after the murder of George Floyd, or whether they have always been active in their community, that you want to come together with other like-minded people where you can make a difference. And we can do that through not only the student groups, but also through your courses and everything else. But it also is a way for you to think about how to reach back to your friends in your community, or your students friends who might be younger than you, and bring them along, have them join you at CUPPA maybe next year or the year after. And that's the function that we call the recruitment function. And we have Mr. Demetrius Coleman, who is on my screen, on the top of the screen, who will be speaking to you next. And if you can help Demetrius make his job more fun and interesting and easier by helping identify students who, like you, have an interest in making a difference in your community, a commitment to social and racial justice, who are activists and want to make their communities better, help Demetrius, bring them here. And with that, Demetrius, I will turn the mic over to you and welcome you here. For everyone else, you can go to the chat room and, the personal thing, hit the chat room, send me a note if you'd like, and I will be here and turn my video off so you don't have to see me, but we can communicate. At any rate, welcome to UIC, welcome to CUPPA. I think you have you're in for a great ride. This is a terrific place to be, especially after we conquer the COVID. So hang in there. We'll be together sometime soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Pagano. I won't say too much because I know we're a little bit tight on time and we want to make sure that we get the program going. But I will say that I've been a part of CUPPA for the last 3 years as first a student, and now I'm a staff member. And as a staff member, I want to make sure that we as a college are continuing to uphold those values of creating just, resilient, and livable communities. And I feel like that all starts right here in-house. So with that being said, I think that it's extremely important that we continue to hear the voices of our student body and actually employ some of your thoughts and ideas as it relates to some of our current recruitment practices. And I would like to personally invite each and every one of you to feel free to reach out to me if you have any ideas about how we can create the kind of college community that you would like to see. I'm going to make sure that I leave my email address in the chat bar so that you all have my information. And I'm also going to reach out to some of your student leaders as well as the student organizations about different sort of ideas and suggestions that they have revolving around recruitment. But now, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you guys the Director of the Center of Student Involvement, Student Leadership, and Student Engagement, Joy Vergara, and she will take you further on into the program.
Thank you. Thank you so much. CUPPA, it's great to be here. Dean Pagano, Jamie, Demetrius, thank you for the invitation. Hello, UIC Flames. My name is Joy Vergara. I want to welcome the new students, and I want to say hello to our student org leaders on this call. And I just briefly want to share how campus is, and how you all can still be engaged while we are all virtual right now. And it's a challenge, as Dean Pagano talked about. But there are things that we're doing. There are things to help you de-stress. It is a stressful time. It has been stressful since March. And so part of what we're doing in student affairs is trying to make sure we provide some balance to you all, and that time for you to be able to reflect, you all to be able to de-stress, also opportunities to meet new students. And I think that's the goals of a lot of our student organizations that are here today, is to meet you all and to have you all connected even when we're not together. And so with that, I want to encourage you all to stay connected and informed, because there are still programs that are happening that could connect you and your family members and your friends. Some of our programs are open for you all to engage with your families and friends online, as well as we will have opportunities. It is a little challenging right now, but we will be back on campus. And when we are, we hope that you have connected with us prior to you being on to campus. We do have a list of programs that have been going on since the start of school. We had involvement fair all of last week. We also are having events as social as a paint night tonight. And kits were given out. We've done cooking classes. So there are different things. We know that students has to still manage their time even during this time. And so as much time as you have to give, UIC has something to offer to you all. And when you all return to campus, the student involvement office, student leadership and civic engagement will also be here when you return. So we hope that you're taking care of yourselves. We do encourage you all to stay engaged with the student groups that are here. But there are over 400 student groups on campus. There are some groups that are active online. If they are a smaller group, they are able to connect over Zoom or WebEx or Twitch and other ways. So if you need that outlet, I just want to let you know that you know, the Center for Student Involvement still has those student organizations up and running. Just this afternoon, we had about 30 people together to talk about interfaith and how students can still explore their faith, seek out faith, or celebrate or honor and continue their faith as a student at UIC. There was also Greek life for undergraduate students. As I mentioned earlier, there was a paint night. We will do a fall, it's called Flames Fall series. And so that is one of our de-stress programs. And so perhaps the student orgs want to include their members in some of that programming. And so there's a variety of things. So with that, I'm going to share some things in the chat. I think I'll hang around for a little bit to hear from student orgs and the students, but welcome to UIC and good luck with an amazing semester, even online. So take care of yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joy, for coming out. I know, you know, it's after hours, but I think it's really important that our students know that they can engage, you know, on the greater campus, and also more specifically within CUPPA. We have so many student groups, and I think that everybody is here to talk about their groups today. What I'm thinking is that we're going to go alphabetically, which seems to be the easiest way to do this. So that would mean that that the Fellowship of Urban Studies students comes first on acronym land. So that's Beck Delora, I believe. So I think what we'll do is, Beck, if you want to start, and then when you're done, we can kind of just tag the next group. I'll put the list of organizations in the chat so everybody knows who's up next. And then once we start to get into that, you can start to tell us who you want to maybe like talk to a little bit more in a breakout room, and we can try and get that set up so that you can talk more about the individual groups. So with that being said, let's see if I had anything else. Excuse me going back and forth because I keep having to admit people to the meeting. So Beck, do you want to get started?
Sure. Hi, my name's Beck. I'm a senior urban studies student. This is my fall semester of my final year. And I'm on the exec board for FUS. Fo is also here. I see her. Okay, there, she just waved.
Hi.
So we're a relatively new org. We started a year ago. We were just trying to really set up a space for undergrad urban studies students to gather and discuss various things, work out, you know, we were thinking about doing some career development stuff. We did, we're also concerned with like activism. But since COVID, we've been kind of left in the lurch a little bit. We don't have a super strong base right now because we are so new. And it's difficult to get people engaged. So right now what we're really trying to figure out to do is what members or other urban studies students really want from this org right now, what level of engagement they want to have. But if anybody who's tuned in is a new urban studies student and you have any questions, me or Fo or a couple other people would probably be happy to assist you in just what it's like being a student in this program and help with online classes. That's really all I have to say. Not too much to report, but nice. Thank you for giving me a few minutes to talk.
Thanks, Beck. Is someone here for El Poder? I did not get confirmation, so I just wanted to see if, let's see, who are my listed people? Ali or Elizabeth?
I'm here for El Poder. My name.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Jasmine Vega. I am the Vice President of El Poder, which is, I always have to look it up because it's a really long name, but the Latino Planning Organization for Development, Education, and Regeneration. And I'm also the Midwest student representative for the APA Latino Planning Division. So some of the goals of El Poder originally were to recruit more and all Latinx students into CUPPA, create some professional development and networking opportunities, as well as like an advocacy group for all Latinx people. Some of the annual events that we have are one that's consistently happened is called Around Afro-Latinidad, which is a celebration of the African diaspora in Latin America. And this is just one of the strategies that the original co-founders went about to address and confront anti-Blackness in the Latino community. Some of the community and like volunteer opportunities that we have consistently done is volunteering with Black and Brown community organizations. For instance, working with I Grow Chicago every year, as well as West Town Bikes in the past. And I mean, we're still trying to figure out what we're gonna do in this next year. We just had our first meeting earlier this week, so we have elections coming up. And yeah, we're just trying to figure out the focus, but we're working to build a strong and permanent relationship with other student organizations on campus, such as the Latino Graduate Student Association and SPUB, and I believe someone is here from there today. So yeah, that's kind of it. We invite different students of color to our meetings. So if you all are interested or you want to hear more about it, you definitely don't have to be a MUP. We have people from public admin. We have some undergraduates who've come to our meetings. So definitely show up if you'd like. Thank you.
Is someone from PASA here? Sorry, my mute is going on and off. Hello? Is Morgan here? Or Alexis? David Bishop? I know those PPSA. All right, we will move.
I'm here for public policy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, I guess we'll skip to you then, Alexis.
Right.
Thanks.
Hello, everybody. My name's Alexis. I'm a third year in my public policy studies. And I'm here to represent PPSA. Our mission is to engage with undergrads and have them engage, with conversations and programming that exposes them to the nuances of public policy. So a core tenet of ours is to elevate like the importance of diversity and inclusion in improving our policymaking processes throughout this country and even the world. So our pillars, what does that look like? You have a mission, but how does it materialize? We want to foster education and just basic discussions on policy through debates or seminars, panels, and provide our students with connections to faculty or students from other levels. And we also really want to promote productive civic action, whether that's finding external events or promoting policy literature and just talking about it. You know, it's a really good skill to know and how to talk politics, know what you're talking about with policy and everything. Our outreach, we're thinking about not only policy students, but non-policy students. So for instance, our first event is going to be October 1st at 6:30. We're collabing with the College of Education. We want to talk about diversifying literature in public schools and its impacts. So it will be like, we're hoping to bring in somebody from that college, a non-policy student, and we could exchange like ideas for crystallizing that interest of we have a goal and we want to actually put it like the beginnings of policy. Just to read off some ideas that we've been throwing around, we're a relatively new group. I'm a new member as well, but we've just been talking about certain ideas that we want to discuss amongst each other. So we've been thinking about ecofascism, climate change, workers' rights, the gig economy and how it affects Chicago area, the Rust Belt specifically, education reform, anti-intellectualism, that movement of denying the expert in policy. It's really strange how American culture has that populism and its effects on policy. And we're also open to any other interests that you may have. I can't remember our email off the top of my head, but I will drop my personal email in there. So if you want to talk about international type policies or humanistic urban planning, I'm free for that. Like, I'm up for it. Yeah, we're looking for new members, and we actually haven't even decided the board member positions yet. So that's how new we are. So yeah, our meetings are Thursdays. We can also change this, by the way, if there's more people that can't do this. Thursdays at 6:30. But that's all I gotta say. So yeah, I'll put my email in the chat.
Thanks, Alexis. Sarika, are you here for Roosevelt?
Yes, I'm
Awesome.
here. So I represent the Roosevelt Network, and we started a few years ago. Our mission, or our logo that we constantly talk about, is let's reimagine the rules, or who writes the rules matters. And we focus on writing policy, developing it, either from policy ideas, projects, or campaigns. So we have different areas within policy. We do healthcare, education, environment, healthcare, democratic access, and human rights. And we have a lot of projects going on right now. Some of the projects are continuing from last year where we're trying to pick up, and also we're starting new projects. So access to municipal products across campus, trying to get them in bathrooms. Doing accessibility audit of campus, seeing whether buildings are accessible for people with disabilities. We also do homeless student services and things off of campus, like banning large lots or developing housing projects. And so the main mission for Roosevelt is to develop and support student-led and scalable policy campaigns, whether that's at the campus, local, or state level. And right now we've been working on our projects and figuring out what their next steps are. We actually have a meeting tonight at 6:30, and I'll put the Zoom link in there, and also how you can stay updated with Roosevelt. And the last thing is that we also have a couple of journals that we publish to, like the 10 Ideas Journal. Usually representatives take policy ideas from there, and we can either try to lobby at the state or local level. And that's another huge project that we work on for the year.
Thank you. Next up is the Society of Black Urban Planners. Let's see if she's here. Rukaya. I'm not seeing. All right. We will move on to the Women in Planning and Public Affairs, or sorry, the Urban Planning and Public Policy Association. I got too many windows open over here.
Hi everyone, I am Erin Ludwig and I'm the president of the Urban Planning and Policy Association, or UPSA. No one ever says the full name, just call it UPSA. It's an organization made up of first and second year Master of Urban Planning and Policy students looking to engage students outside of the classroom. And obviously, like most student groups, COVID has thrown a little bit of a wrench in our plans, and it's changed the way we've interact, but we're still committed to providing MUPs with professional development and social events. Our biggest event of the year, which is open to the public, is the Urban Innovation Symposium, which traditionally happens in January. It brings together planning professionals and civic leaders and academics. The pandemic is going to test our adaptability because we still want to keep it informative and relevant and engaging, but we have to keep in mind the current public health situation as well. I will put my email in the chat if folks are interested in getting involved, and I'll also put our website. Thanks again for coming out tonight.
Thank you, Erin. Next we have Women in Planning and Public Affairs. Taylor, are you here?
Taylor actually couldn't make it, but I will take over. So my name is Megan Mokate. I am the president of Women in Planning and Public Affairs, or WUPA, which is shorter but doesn't really sound that great, but we call it WUPA. I am in the Civic Analytics program, and basically WUPA is just a space for women and gender non-conforming people to get together and network, and it also kind of gives a space to these people as well as other groups that are less represented in the urban planning and public affairs groups. We have a little bit of a focus on activism, and we'll also be working with like other groups and promoting events that we think our members will be interested in. We had our first event yesterday, and it was a panel of the women who started WUPA, and they were just like answering our questions and like being resources for us, so it's really helpful. So throughout the semester, we're going to have things like maybe other panels with women in the space, book clubs, and social events. I'll put my email in the chat as well if anyone has any questions.
Okay. Dean Pagano, do you have anything else that you want to say to the students?
Just to say that I hope you're ready to go. This is the beginning of a great run for you. If you need anything, there's staff here to help you. If you have any issues and questions, as I said, I do have an open door policy, even though the chat room may be closing soon, but please send me an email if you would like to talk, or just, we can set up a time and Zoom and talk as well. Otherwise, I look forward to hearing great things about how you're going to move your neighborhoods, your communities, the nation, the world forward. So have a great year.
All right, I am getting no messages. Dean Pagano is not getting any messages, but you can reach out to any of us and we can set up another, if you have ideas for how this would be a better space to communicate with students. I know this is really hard. I mean, let's just be honest. It's really hard for all of us to feel connected in this space. We're doing it every day, all day. So I totally am in the same boat as you guys. And if you even just want to talk to me about how awful it can sometimes be, I'm here to talk about it. We're all going through a lot right now. And hold on. I will send emails to all the students with information for all the student group leaders. There's also a website that was in the Evite where you can find all of their pages, and just hang in there, guys, and we will get through this, and we'll all be seeing each other in person very soon, I hope.
Hi, I'm sorry, I tuned in late.
Sure.
I'm here on behalf of PPPA, and
okay.
I couldn't get anyone to come in on behalf. I saw the volleyball team. We got out of practice a little late. No one else could tune in to the group, but just kind of want to introduce myself. And I will be emailing both you and some of the group leaders to kind of see what you all talked about. But just really excited to start the year. We kind of are more of a starting group. We were started last year, but have had some difficulties getting some people into our organization. So we're working a lot on retention right now and getting some events scheduled, but just wanted to introduce myself and sorry for tuning in a little late. I got out later than expected.
Totally understood. I'm glad you were able to sneak in. I see you're in transit right now.
Yes.
Totally understand. Thanks for popping in.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Last call before dinner? Anybody want to say hello or just introduce themselves? All right. Everybody have a great night and hang in there.